Raider Nation, it's mailbag time, and today's show is presented by Vincero Collective. I don't know about y'all, I always have a hard time finding what I want to get gifts for my dad, heck, my mom, my significant other, some of my friends. Vincero Collective not only is a great holiday gift, it's great stocking stuffer as well. Go to VinceroCollective.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping. Really, really clean watches for any kind of look, whether you want to go out with the boys or if you're trying to just hang out at work as well. Or maybe even if you're on the Raiders Report. VinceroCollective.com/chat. Get started with them. I promise a lot of really, really awesome things for the holiday. So, with it being mailbag time here, we go live every Tuesday. Remember, the Raiders play on Thursday, so I'm going to put this video out a little bit earlier on Thursday. Always hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because Jeremy Chuggs and I, we are going to be live for Thursday night football. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a hell of a time. And to all the people that I know are subbed and got those noties on, major shout out to D, Take Flight Task, Mario, Diego, and Drizzy. If you want to shout out on a future show, not only should you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way, as soon as I drop a video, you're one of the very first people to comment. You get a shout out on the Raiders Report. First question coming in here from JD Raider. Will Aaron Donald or Cooper Kupp be playing this week against the Raiders? No. Aaron Donald's not going to play. Cooper Kupp's not going to play. Matthew Stafford's not going to be in this one. And that's why when the first books came out, Jeremy, the Raiders were 6-point favorites on the road. But let's be real. Raider Nation owns Los Angeles. Let me know who you got Thursday night football. Type LV for the Raiders, or I want you to type LAR for the Los Angeles Rams. Give me the Raiders, baby. Let's go to Joshua Hughes. What's up, my brother? What's up, Mitch? I remember you said if we don't make the playoffs, we would get rid of Carr. Do you still stand by that? Yes. I think if you don't make the playoffs, this season is a fail. Like, we can say all the positive things we want about finishing the season strong. I still would say that it would be time to move on from Derek Carr because you still have to look at it from the entire season. I would move on from DC if the Raiders don't make the playoffs. Let's go to Daniel Topchi. Keenan Allen's barbecue chick was dry and lacked flavor, but Adam's barbecue chicken was a finger-licking good. Raiders! Daniel Topchi. I agree with you. Let's go to Steven. He's still a kid. Give him time. Caleb for Heisman. He will win the Heisman Trophy Award. I was talking about Drake May or Caleb Williams. I'll take Drake May over Caleb Williams in the 2024 draft. Let's go to Hobby, California. What are Red Zone ranked after these 3 weeks? Unfortunately, I don't have those numbers pulled up right now. I could look real quick. Raiders, Red Zone numbers. If it doesn't pop up in my first search, I can't really help you out. I know, though, that they have been pretty effective. Last 3 weeks, Raiders, in terms of Red Zone efficiency, bottom 4. Last 3 weeks, Raiders are in the bottom 4 in terms of scoring touchdowns in the red zone, which I kind of find surprising. Then again, though, I think about it, they've had a lot of really, really long touchdowns. Let's go to FAB. I ate that chip. I like it spicy. It hurt. You are effed. I've had the chip before, too, and I know it's spicy. I know I'm effed. It's not going to be pretty. This one's coming in on Tuesday. Remember, if you want to watch me eat the hottest chip in the world, go back to our Tuesday live show. Let's go to Ryan A. What would you find in McDaniel's internet history? Oh, man. How to run a first-grade offense, when to call trick plays at the 40-yard line, how to get fired in 90 days. I don't know. I don't believe in McDaniel's, dude. Let's go to Brandon. Mick heard me visiting him, and guess what? JJ got fed, and guess what? We got a W. All 5 of the Raiders' wins this season have come when they've given Jacobs at least 20 carries. Jacobs is playing so well right now that even if you're losing in a game, he's got to get 20 touches. He should be the offensive player of the year. When you look at the numbers and numbers alone, if the Raiders make the playoffs, I do. I think Jacobs wins Offensive Player of the Year. He leads the league in first downs, not even close. Rushing yards, really not that close. Total yards, more than 229 than Tyreek Hill. Jacobs has been that good this season. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. Grade/evaluate play Moehrig and Koontz's last game. Unfortunately, I don't really think I got too much to see out of Malcolm Koonce. He made some key special teams tackles, which I liked. In terms of Moehrig, I'll give Moehrig a B. I'll give Koonce a C. just because I didn't see enough from him. I want Kuntz on the field more. Moehrig made a few really, really clutch stops. He also made a huge pass breakup. I can't remember who caught the ball, but Moehrig, once the guy was coming down in the end zone, I think it was Everett, the tight end, he swatted it out of his hands and broke it up. I believe Moehrig can be a really, really good player in the NFL, and I'm hoping, really, really hoping that he continues to elevate his game because he can be a special safety in this league. Now, today's Raiders Report mailbag sponsor, shout out to Vincero Collective. And if anybody wants to get the watch that I have on, all you got to do is go to vincerocollective.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. There's no better way to spread holiday cheer than upgrading your style for all to hear. Thank you to our friends at Vincero for sponsoring today's episode. If you aren't familiar with Vincero yet, they make exceptionally crafted and stylish watches at affordable prices. Other premium handcrafted watches don't fit the everyday person's budget. You can finally own a high-quality and lasting timepiece without going broke. Don't wait, or it's going to be too late. Get 20% off and free shipping site-wide with our code CHAT at vincerocollective.com/chat. Support our show and check them out at vincerocollective.com. Use code CHAT. Look good. Feel good, save big this holiday season with Vincero. And I know sometimes when I say something, I've actually had people ask me, how do you spell it? Vincero. VinceroCollective.com/chat. If you're like, Mitch, I don't need a watch. They got sunglasses. They have awesome wallets as well. They're going to make you look better for I'll say the guy who's trying to look good when he goes to work, trying to look good when you're hanging out with the family. Restaurants, they have a look for every single occasion. Huge shout out to Vincero for coming back on board with us this holiday season. Let's go to a true Raider. All right, I like this one. Would you bring back, I bring back Jonathan Abrams? No, I'm not bringing back Jonathan Abrams. This is one of those where I hate saying I told you so, but I've been pretty spot on with Raiders draft picks. I never thought Abram was ever going to be good. He's not a coverage player in the NFL. I mean, we just got to be able to face the facts here. And when you really look at it, one, I believe he's on the Seahawks. I think that's technically the first thing. And two, the Green Bay Packers, they let him go. If you can't cover in the NFL, you're just not going to find a good spot for you. So with that being said, even if Abram was available, I'd say no. We don't need him on our team, man. What do you think, though? If Abram was available, would you bring him back as a safety? Why for yes and for no? Curious what the nation has to say about this one here. Let's go to Brandon Jasper. Simply put, locals. Tell us, Mitch. Well, if y'all don't know, you can get exclusive Raiders content on Brandon's favorite place. That's right, it's Locals, RaidersReport.locals.com. We do an NFL Pick'em Challenge every single week, and if you want to contribute or want to participate, you got to hurry because the Raiders game is in there because it's Thursday Night Football. On top of that, I go live once a week. It's exclusive content for diehard Raider fans only, so take Brandon's word for it. He super chats about it enough, no doubt about it. RaidersReport.locals.com. Let's go to Angel. How impressed have you been with Sam Weeb? I'm impressed with Sam Weeb because he's a UDFA player. When I put out my UDFA video all the way in the offseason, Weeb was the second highest rated player I had on that list because I loved his tenacity. You could see it on tape. He was a tough player, but he can learn. And he's a good scheme fit. He's a pretty versatile player. Has he struggled at times? Yes. He's also bounced back. Sam Weeb is going to be a good player in the NFL. And if I had to make a comp that I've thrown out there before, I'm not saying that they're similar players, but remember, Nicholas Morrow, a good UDFA player, wasn't the most talented player, but got better every single season. That's kind of how I see Sam Webb's NFL career panning out, where he's not the most talented player, but he's going to get better every single season because from people who I've talked to said he's a good learner. Let's go to Wild One. Wow. One of the guys on Mount Rushmore. It's what comes up when you type donkey. So he was talking about the chip, make them squeal. It happens when you type donkey. He's the reason why we're doing the chip. Also, the MVP this week, Wild 114. I mean, this guy, I'd say if we had MVPs for the whole season, it'd probably be between him and Trevon for the top two. Season-long MVP award. Absolutely killing it. Wild One, you know I love you, brother. Cheers to you. Let's go to Project 1337. If the Raiders make the playoffs and or finish the year strong, do you keep DC or move on? If you don't make the playoffs, I do not keep DC. If the Raiders, who were 2-7, win 8 games in a row, or even if you can sneak in at 9-8, I can make the argument that Derek Carr then deserves to stay around for next year. If not, I don't know. I don't see the point of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Can you be worse? Yes, you could potentially be worse. But when I look at a quarterback like Caleb Williams, when I look at a quarterback like Drake May, I think that that's worth the risk. If you're so bad next season, what happens if you end up in the top 5? Then you could potentially get one of those top 2 quarterbacks. The fact that the Raiders have never won a playoff game with DC, the fact that the Raiders have never even gotten close to a Super Bowl, that's what you play for. And because you've never gotten there, you have nothing to lose. So yes, if you don't make the playoffs, I'm moving on. Let's go to Brandon. Jones got found with his friend Waldo, but still hasn't earned his money. Thoughts? I agree. 3 sacks in one game is phenomenal, and especially going up against the Chargers in a must-win game to continue to keep your season alive. It is. It's incredible. There's no doubt about it. But if I would have told you he has 3.5 sacks at the end of 13 games, you'd be like, this guy definitely ain't worth the money. And he needs to continue to get better and better. But when you look at the last 2 games, Chandler Jones' production has been really, really solid. And go figure, Raiders have 8 sacks those last 2 games. Let's go to Hilltop Productions. Is Josh Jacobs the Offensive Player of the Year right now? Yes. He has to be. He leads the NFL with 1,303 rushing yards. He leads the NFL in total yards with 1,634. He leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns, first downs. He's done so much for this offense. And you look at everything that he's doing, receiving, rushing, he would be my Offensive Player of the Year. But it usually goes to a team that's winning. What do you think, though? If you think that Jacobs should be Offensive Player of the Year right now, I'm talking right now, I want you to spam JJ. Spam it down in the comments. 28 JJ, he deserves that love. He deserves that credit. And I hope they franchise tag him. I'm glad that he's putting on the year that he's putting on because they turned down his 5th-year option. There was a lot of people out there that didn't know what the Raiders were going to do with Jacobs. We'll see, man, but I think he deserves it. Let's go to Marcus Hernandez. Trivan has entered the chat. My B-Day is tomorrow. Let's go, Raiders. Win for my B-Day. All right, judging by that picture, how old is Marcus Hernandez? 29? I was going to say, I'm going to say 436. That's my guess, just because of that picture alone. But happy birthday, Marcus Hernandez. Everybody spam HBD. Waters 11, Raiders for life. If we win out and make the playoffs, we will go to the Super Bowl, calling it. I don't know if we would be the favorite. Obviously, we wouldn't be the favorite, not even close in the AFC. But I said it before. If you go to the playoffs, even if the Raiders, who are 2-7, get in at 9-8, definitely if you get in at 10-7, nobody wants to play you. It honestly reminds me of that year when the Giants won the Super Bowl. When they got in 9-7, they just started playing football hot at the right time. Hell, even a few years ago when the Bucs made it, or when they won it with Brady, they were good, but they got hot at the very, very end of the season, won a lot of games, and then that's what matters. Not playing good in the early year, playing well late. That's what matters. Let's go to a super thanks coming in from Christopher Leonard. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks from Christopher Leonard. Mitch, what's going on with Kuntz and his absence? No playing time, really. I don't have a great answer for you other than if I've learned anything from McDaniels and Ziegler and this whole team, they're going to play their guys. Malcolm Kuntz isn't one of their players. He's getting more run on special teams, but that's really it. I'll also say, over the past few weeks, the Raiders' defense has played well. I'm not going to pick apart the defense all that much because the last few weeks, this Raiders defense is getting pressure, and they've been playing solid football. Friendly reminder, y'all, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, at MitchellRens365, it's where I put out a lot of Raiders news all the time. Just, if you're a diehard fan, always trying to stay up to know with everything going on around the silver and black, Twitter, one of the top places to make sure you give me a follow.